rebate versus surcharge. You click this word in Google and you get a lot of information. But to the point information with all the FAQs, the most common FAQs I have picked up which are asked by students, the clarity you will get is here. So watch the video till end. And hello dear students, my name is Dipti Chheda. Last 20 years I am teaching CA students, and so here we start, right? Take lot of notes please from this screen, because 1 minute I will increase this so that you can see it clearly. Right, I hope it is visible and clear, the screen. Lot of inputs I have taken, and I keep on solving the queries of students in my WhatsApp and Telegram group, and from there I have picked up these questions which are troubling most to students while solving MCQs and while solving the question and answer for exam. Okay, whatever we are discussing, the financial year is 1920. I have said in my earlier video, once again, the provisions which have been added in income tax due to COVID after March 28th, they are not applicable for the November and December CA CMA exam. So here state we start with, what is the section for the rebate? It is section 87A. How is rebate calculated? So rebate is a kind of relief which is given in income tax to individuals who are having income up to 5 lakhs. Done. So if you have got income up to 5 lakh or less than 5 lakh, whatever tax you have to pay, you can avail a rebate under section 87A up to 12,500. If your tax is 3,000, rebate is 3,000, done. But if your tax is 15,000, maximum rebate available is 12,500. The reason is, though we have the basic exemption till 2,50,000, if you are a resident individual having income less than 5 lakh, you should not pay tax. That is the reason behind giving this rebate. The third FAQ is, what are the exceptions to rebate? Is rebate allowed on all the incomes? Yes. The exception is section 112A. Long-term capital gain on shares, equity-oriented funds, mutual funds, wherein up to 1 lakh long-term capital gain is exempt. Beyond that, it is taxable at 10%. So here is the point where rebate is not allowed. So if you have only long-term capital gain on shares, equity-oriented mutual fund, say 4,50,000, you will not get the benefit of rebate. Rebate is not allowed under section 112A. Rest all the incomes, the rebate is allowed, provided not gross total income. Total income is less than your 5 lakhs, right? Now, who can claim the rebate? It is only individuals. We have various persons in the definition under section 2, subsection 31, but only individuals are allowed to claim rebate, that too resident individual. Now here many times an out of the way question I want to discuss, when I say resident individuals, only resident individuals get enhanced basic exemption of 3 lakh and 5 lakh. For non-resident, 80 years, 85 years also, basic exemption is 2,50,000. They don't get all that benefit. Same way, non-residents will not get the benefit of rebate. This point is very, very important, especially for the final students who are dealing with non-resident taxation of individuals, right? Then they are saying rebate is allowed to individuals and senior citizens, that is up to 60 years, 60 to 80 years. 80 and above years, the rebate is not allowed. What's the logic? Because 80 and above years, anyhow, they have the basic exemption up to 5 lakh. And rebate is only if you have income up to 5 lakh, you get a rebate. In the tax, maximum up to 12,500 tax you don't have to pay, right? I hope these FAQs are helpful to you. I have divided this video in two parts. We are doing rebate versus surcharge now, and carrying on ahead, surcharge versus marginal relief will be the part 2 of video. So watch both videos properly. Take all notes, right? The next question is how to calculate rebate in the steps. So if your gross total income you are taking, very important is if the individual is getting agricultural income, it is exempt under section 10 subsection 1. But agricultural income is to be added in the gross total income to calculate the step method tax calculation. So when you want to give rebate, the agricultural income included in the total income should be less than 5 lakh. And there the rebate is given in the step number 3. Agricultural income, non-agricultural, calculate the tax. Agricultural income, basic exemption, calculate the tax. 1 minus 2 is tax payable. Now you minus the rebate. I hope I am going quite in-depth and crystal clear clarity I am giving you on the topic called as rebate, right? So the next one is gross total income, right? So gross total income, you give the deductions, ATC to ATU, you get total income. On total income, you calculate tax. Whatever tax you have calculated, if the total income is up to 5 lakhs, here you will give the rebate under section 87A. On the balance tax payable, add education cess. I hope the steps are clear. Students add the ECESS and then they give the rebate, it goes wrong. So from the tax, you deduct the rebate, and on the balance tax, you calculate the ECESS. I hope these steps are clear for all of you, and rebate is very important for the MCQs for calculating the total income problem. So remember, except section 112A for long-term capital gain on shares, rebate is allowed everywhere if the income is less than 5 lakhs, right? And now let us say, why did I call it as rebate versus surcharge? Then I have given this punchline, not to go wrong in the exam. Can you see this cursor? It says in the tax calculation, either rebate will come if the income is less than 5 lakhs, or surcharge will come if the income exceeds 50 lakhs. You cannot have both in a single problem. This is for you to have an alert sign not to go wrong in the exam. Now let us see. The basic meaning of the surcharge is extra tax which people who are earning in the higher group should pay. So how to calculate surcharge? Total income. Calculate tax on total income. See my cursor carefully how it is going. Calculate the tax on total income, just the tax. Calculate the surcharge on the tax. Surcharge is calculated on tax. Tax is calculated on total income. Now add the tax plus surcharge. Whatever you get this total, on both you have to charge ECESS. So is it very clear to you that education cess is paid on tax also and on surcharge tax also? And then you get the tax payable, you can deduct the advance tax and TDS here. Students know individually well what is tax, surcharge, ECESS, advance tax. When we are merging it and asking to compute the income, there's a confusion. So this is the step mind map. You write it and you'll be clear with this. The total income, tax is calculated on total income, surcharge is calculated on tax, ECESS is calculated on tax plus surcharge. Now, why should I pay surcharge? Why? If I'm an individual HUF, AOP, BOI, if my income exceeds 50 lakhs and it is less than or up to 1 crore, I have to pay surcharge or additional tax at the rate of 10% on the tax. First you calculate the tax and then on the tax, pay 10% of that tax as surcharge. If your income exceeds 1 crore and it is up to 2 crore, the surcharge is 15%. If the income exceeds 2 crore and it is up to 5 crores, then the surcharge is 25%. And if the income exceeds 5 crores, then the surcharge is 37%. Is this clear to all of you? So suppose you have calculated the tax on your income 8 crores. First you calculate routine tax as 8 crores and then you calculate the surcharge as 37%. Right? Okay? Then firms and all, the surcharge is only one rate is there. These all the 4 rates are for individuals. If you're studying from old books, till last year it was only 15%. Now they have added 25 and 37%. So make sure you check this and you know all this. And firms and local authorities and all the surcharge, if the income exceeds 1 crore, it is 12%. Domestic company, the basic rate is only flat rate, 30%. And if the income exceeds 1 crore up to 10 crore, it is 7%. If the income exceeds 10 crores, it is 12%. Right? Now, foreign company, okay, if the basic rate, basic means the flat rate of tax is only 40%, so surcharge is little less than the domestic company. It is 2% if the income exceeds 1 crore up to 10 crore and 5% if the income exceeds 10 crores. Make sure if you're liking this knowledge, then make sure you learn and come the surcharge rates for the part 2 of this video, wherein I will explain you in depth how to calculate marginal relief with the help of surcharge rates. And in exam, they will not say apply marginal relief. You have to think. So there's some mind, step method. I will bring it in the next video. Did you all like this video? And these concepts with this FAQs, which I have come up with all the doubts of the students, I hope rebate and surcharge is clear to you. Rebate is something different, surcharge is something different. How to apply it in agricultural income, marginal relief, check it. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and do comment below the video to let me know what more I can help you out, right? One more thing, when we are talking about surcharge, there might be a confusion. Just now I gave you an example. Say if the income is 8 crores. If the income is 8 crores, I will calculate the tax as per slab rate if it is individual. Then will I have to apply the surcharges also in slab? No. If it is 8 crores, on the total income, calculate the tax. On the tax, the surcharge is directly 37%. 37% because the income exceeded 5 crores, right? More clarity on the working of the surcharge in the part 2 video. Before I leave, most important question I feel they may ask you, because for individual they have added 12 and 15% and now 25 and 37%, they may ask you, what is the maximum rate of tax, maximum marginal rate of tax which individuals should pay? This is very, very important for AOP and other assessments, okay? So the maximum rate of the tax for individual is 30%.